Hi, this is Andy from Taurus Software. In this video, we'll create a load mapping which will map the Salesforce account fields we selected in our Create Accounts virtual table to fields in our CSV sample file. First, let's create a load mapping. Click and drag the virtual mapping linked to your CSV data source onto Load Mappings. You can also right-click the virtual mapping and choose Add Load Mapping. Now we choose a load target. In this case, we want to move records to Salesforce. So we'll expand the Salesforce data source and choose the Create Accounts virtual table because we want to create account records in Salesforce. With the data source selected, click End to create the load mapping. The load mapping appears in the tree view as the name of the target data source, followed by a period, followed by the name of the target table. Click on it to preview how the records will import into Salesforce. Looks like we're missing some fields. The only data we're seeing from the CSV file is the name of the account, but none of the address fields. This is because there's a field called Name in both the CSV file and in Salesforce, so DataBridger has mapped them for us. We can map the rest of the fields by double-clicking the load mapping. For each target field with no expression, click the Criteria button. Select the source table, and double-click the corresponding source field from the middle section. Then click OK. Bear in mind that the field called Address in our CSV file is just a street number. For the description field, we don't have a corresponding source field, so we'll just make up our own expression. Feel free to come up with your own, just make sure you enclose any literal values in double quotes. Also, make sure you specify a value, even if it's just a pair of empty double quotes. After all, we selected these fields when we created the virtual table, so Salesforce expects a value for them. If you decide you don't want to use a target field, you can go back to the virtual table and deselect it. Before we save and close this load mapping, let's append a unique value to one of these fields so we can more easily locate the records created by our script once they're in Salesforce. In practice, you shouldn't use fields this way, but we'll let it slide for the sake of the exercise. It'll be used to delete the records at the end of the video. Click the Criteria button for the name field. Place the cursor at the end of the expression. Click the vertical bar button to append a string. And then click String and type a sequence of characters you know doesn't occur in any existing account name in your Salesforce environment. I'm going to use space $DataBridger. This will show up at the end of the account name. Click OK, and click OK again. OK, double check all your fields are mapped and click Save and Close. Now we can see the data that was missing.